Hi everyone, this is DJ coming at you with Beyond the Lens Productions. Today I am driving a 2024 Chevrolet Malibu, and I'm going to give you guys my impressions of this car, what I think of it, and if it's something that you should consider buying. So come on back in a moment and find out more. Welcome back to my channel, guys. So as I was saying, today I'm driving a 2024 Chevrolet Malibu. This is Chevrolet's Camry fighter, we'll say it. It's a typical American family sedan, and yeah, I'm going to give you guys kind of my impressions of it. I have to say, I think they've done a nice job on the exterior of it. This one here is just a base model, actually. It's nothing really special, but in the short time I've been driving it, I have to say I'm relatively impressed by it. So it comes with a 1.5 liter, 163 horsepower, I believe 187 pound-feet of torque, and first thing I have to say is just after I got in it, I took it for a boot on the highway, and for the size of the engine in that, and I was actually pretty impressed by the pickup of it as well. And road noise is pretty good. It's yeah, not bad for typical family sedan. So yeah, we're gonna do a little walk around here of the interior. Very nice lines in this car, actually, and I really do think you get a lot of value for your money with one of these. Looks pretty nice in black with the chrome accents here as well. Comes with some alloy wheels. Let's go sit inside and see how it is in here.
Collaboration and management.
Now you can see it actually has a lot of space in here. And they've kind of got some cloth along the dash here, and I imagine in the upper trim levels you're probably going to have leather as well. But your standard steering wheel controls, your ones over here for controlling the computer here on the dash and the gauge cluster. Your ones over here for the cruise control and what have you. And behind, it's actually similar to my Silverado, you have the volume controls on the right hand side, and then you can scroll through your channels on the left hand side. And here you have your controls for your power windows, mirrors, and door locks and whatnot. And actually, more cloth over here, so again, be some leather or something on the upper trim levels. I have to say, like, it's actually contoured quite nicely. Like, I'm just putting my hand here and as I was driving, and yeah, it's actually quite comfortable. They've seemed to design that quite well. Standard gear shifter. Actually fits nicely right around your hand as well. We got climate controls here, pretty self-explanatory. Temperature controlled as well, so they're automatic. They had decent size stereo display here for your stereo, GPS, and whatnot. I have to say I'm quite impressed by that. Hey. As we're saying here, Just check out the center console. It's actually quite deep here. It's pretty nice size. You can put lots of stuff in there as well. Dash is quite nicely laid out. Everything is within pretty reasonable reach as well. I mean, you have your controls here on your steering wheel, so that's not too bad anyhow. But if you don't want to do that, then yeah, you can still reach over. Now, I'm about 6 feet tall, and so I got the seat back a fair bit, and I got lots of leg room, and I don't feel like my legs are constrained here at all. And even when I put my leg over to the side here, I mean, I've got lots of room. So yeah, so keeping that in mind, we're gonna step out and go to the back seat. That's your back interior here. As you can see, there is a lot of room here, even headroom, leg room. I'm gonna get in. Now keep in mind, I had the seat at the front quite comfortably back, so I had lots of room, and so I mean, I've got lots of room here for my knees. I mean, I can stretch my legs out, my feet out rather, down here. And headroom, yeah, lots of headroom. My head is nowhere near touching the ceiling in the front or the back. So they've also done a good job here of setting up the armrests and that in the back, so you know you can sit here quite comfortably. We do have a center armrest that you can pull out here as well, and that also has some cup holders in there, so that is nice. Headrests, child restraints for car seats and that as well. I mean, all in all, I have to say, like, this is, to me, like a very spacious family sedan for anybody that's looking for one. So yeah, you can kind of see the front here and you're looking in from the back, so that is quite nice as well. So yeah, let's step out here and we'll take a look at the trunk. Here's a trunk. As you can see in here, it's quite spacious. I mean, I really can't see that any crossover is going to have much more space in the back than what this is. Maybe height-wise a bit, but that's about it. I think as well, we can figure out how to do it. These seats look like they've come down. So that's how you do it. Boom. I guess you unlock them from back here. Pull these levers out. Just grab hold of the headrest and pull. And now you've got yourself lots of room here for storing any large cargo, skis, luggage, what have you. So again, lots of room in here. Back in here, push those back in, put those seats up like that, push that in, and boom, there you have it. There's a look at the rear seat from here. Now I will say The only thing that probably could be better about this is, now keeping in mind this is a base model vehicle, but the stereo kind of leaves a lot to be desired. I turn it up and let you guys kind of hear, but I'm going to get hit with a copyright here if I do, so just have to trust my word on that one. But yeah, I'm sure if you can order a better a stereo with it as well. So and that's one suggestion I probably would have if you're going to order one. Maybe order a little better stereo system on it. But yeah, other than that, great car, great family vehicle, and yeah, if you're looking for an alternative from driving a crossover, then yeah, this is probably a good one for you. So let's now let's take a look at the engine as well while we're here. Open the hood. Don't try to do it one-handed, and do it as quickly as possible, because black cars get pretty hot in the sun pretty quick. So this car, it's got some room to work on it here as well. So yeah, nothing really impressive or special here, but figured I'd give you guys a look at it anyhow. Hey guys, so now we're back inside the Malibu, and I'm going to take this for a spin. I'll let you guys know what I think about it, what my impressions are of it. So I hope you enjoy. Say, first of all, the gear shift is quite nice as well. And it positioned well for your hand here. You don't have to do any reaching for it either, so that's kind of good. So, my impressions of it so far, I have to say, for a 1.5 liter engine, this one actually turbocharged, mind you, but it has some pretty good get up and go. So first off the bat, I have to say that I'm quite impressed with that. So for a basic family car that is kind of the base model trim level, road noise isn't too bad. It could be a little bit quieter, but that may be product of the tires and whatnot that's on this one. As I mentioned earlier, there's lots of room in here. 6 feet tall, I don't feel crammed in here at all, so that is really nice. Whether or not you're in the front or even the back, like my head is, like I said, is nowhere near the top here. You can see I got lots of room here, so I don't feel uncomfortable here at all. Basic fit and finish is quite nice for a $30,000 car here. You're obviously not expecting Cadillac Escalade opulence in here or anything, but it's quite good. And it's got a nice road feel too in the steering wheel, which I actually like as well. I mean, previously I was always a Pontiac guy, and that's one of the things that I loved about the Pontiac, is you could actually still feel the road, especially when you're cornering, taking tight corners and that. Like, it's just a nice feeling. So I am quite like that as well. Taking this car on some rougher roads, which in Canada in the summertime isn't that hard to find. I mean, they say in Canada we have 2 seasons, winter and road construction, so there's a certain amount of truth to that as well. Things are laid out quite nicely, like the radio controls and the steering wheel controls here. Very convenient as well. Basic dash with your speedo, your tachometer, your temperature, and your gas gauge. It's got the computer in the middle here, so you can go through various selections on that to see, decide what kind of information you want to display, your fuel economy or your battery voltage, whatnot. This one actually shows an eco mode, so if you're concerned about fuel economy and that, it's going to show you how to drive to keep your fuel economy at the best level possible. So yeah, that's good for someone looking for that. I mean, I'm not going to have this long enough to really tell you what the fuel economy numbers are like, but yeah, someone that's interested in that, that's good. As I said earlier, the stereo controls are pretty good. The display on here is very similar to my Silverado as well. And I think, I haven't actually measured it, but it looks like the display is pretty close to the same size as my Silverado as well. So like I said, the only thing I could say is you could have a little better speakers in here, but again, you're in a base model vehicle, so it is what it is. I mean, you get what you pay for, as they will say. So, but I mean, if you're looking for a family sedan to, got a couple kids and your wife, then yeah, it's be more than enough for that. I mean, you got the rear seat pass-throughs. You can pull down the rear seats, put more stuff in there. Yeah, you have a little more height in a crossover or something like that, but I don't know really how often you're really going to need that. But I would say the trunk space for 4 people, family of 4 to go on vacation with, you've got more than enough space for that. And the seats are quite comfortable. They got nice side bolsters here, so when you're going around corners and that it will hold you nicely in place. They're fairly firm, which is something that I like as well. I don't really like the soft, cushy, pillowy seats, so I kind of like something a little bit firmer with some nice support, especially for longer road trips as well. Now, say there's a lot more options. Like say, you probably get yourself a moonroof or something like that in here if you have had a few options to this. But $30,000, you're doing well here. And I haven't optioned one out, but I think even if you put a few options, this car is still going to be very, very affordable. As for why GM is dropping this one at the end of the year, I don't know. That is a complete mystery to me. I have some thoughts on as well. I mean, one of your number one selling vehicles in North America is your Toyota Camry, and why you would want to take yourself out of that market and not have something to compete with them on, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. Again, we could go back to one of my earlier videos where we talked about the possible impending return of Pontiac. Everybody has their own opinions on that, but like I said in my video, I think there is something to that. Well, time will tell. Maybe they have plans to bring something out in this size range that is under the Pontiac nameplate. Maybe they just want to put most of their cars under the Pontiac nameplate. I hope if they bring Pontiac back, they don't put it under, don't put any crossovers in it like they did last time. I think having crossovers in the Pontiac name was a big mistake. I mean, it has to do a lot with the structure of General Motors and how they've always kind of had it so their brands are competing with each other, which, one time probably made a lot more sense than it does now, in my opinion. But if you do bring back the Pontiac, I think you should keep it under the car nameplate. Overall impression is, I'd give it a thumbs up. I would definitely consider purchasing one of these. Yeah, I think it's just a really good option for a reliable, roomy family vehicle with a decent amount of power too. So, it's actually quite good. So I think this is one of the nicest designs that they've come out with in the Malibu in my memory anyhow. So I think it's, yeah. Didn't know what to expect. I mean, I've never driven one before, so I didn't quite know what to expect. I knew it was kind of a middle of the road, basic family vehicle, so I didn't know. But it's exceeded my expectations and what I thought it was going to be. So yeah, I'm quite impressed. Road noise is good. I like the road feel. You can feel it as it goes around the corner. It goes around a corner quite well for being a base model. I mean, you put a sportier suspension on this vehicle, I think it would actually be quite good around the corners, even better than it is now. So yeah, gonna give it a thumbs up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.